The first ORS Run Series event of 2024 from Grow Jackson founder and director Jacob Inocencio, and from Orthopedic Rehab Specialist Community Outreach Coordinator Melissa Burgett. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Bart.
Happy New Year.
Well, here we go. Another year.
Another year. We're back.
So, Melissa, this has been an incredible series that gets better and bigger every year. And you kind of have that pressure to do that, right?
I hold myself and as well as everybody else to a high standard. So, I think that the people in the community of Jackson really deserve that. And I'm just lucky to work alongside all of the race directors, because all of them work tirelessly to make sure that those events are top notch.
Well, yeah, it is truly a partnership. Each race has a whole army of folks, plus an organization that you partner with. And the Groundhog Gallop, it's, I think, for the second year?
This is year 3, actually.
Year 3?
Well, the Groundhog Gallop was a long-standing race,
Right.
and then I took a hiatus during COVID, and we picked it back up to benefit Grow Jackson. It's the time of year where I'm doing the least, hypothetically, so we have the time to organize a race.
Sure, you aren't planting and
Correct,
harvesting. Yeah.
But you're not yet, exactly. But you're completely right. Huge testament in the last couple of years to see the series grow, to Melissa's super hard work and the investment of ORS. I don't know sometimes if people in Jackson realize how crazy it is to have a series that's this organized, this put together, this well marketed, and this well attended. I mean, it's on par with regions that are far more, much further along in terms of investing in these kinds of things. So for us to have that is amazing.
I agree. In fact, the races attract people from far and wide. In fact, Ohio, there are people from Toledo that come to all the races because they don't have something like that. Now,
Absolutely.
the Groundhog Gallop kicks off the series in JTV again this year. Pleased to be one of the sponsors of the race series.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
And we're really excited. Yeah, we're going to be a part of the Michigan Running Foundation's series this year, the Michigan Race Series this year. It's going to be timed by the Michigan Running Foundation. We've got some great sponsors, obviously M&K supporting all of the races. Inocencio and Fisk is our presenting sponsor again this year, which we're super grateful for. But we're really excited to get to come back this year. We've got a great partnership with Jackson Public, so we get to use the cafeteria at Parkside, which is really cool because there's actually 2 greenhouses right next to the start-finish line that we help support through some different relationships in the community. So it's a nice chance for folks to get out. It aligns really well with our community health initiatives. We focus on fresh food in our programming and providing food access in the community. But how people move and how they take care of their bodies and work out and exercise is another component of the community health that we're trying to expand with our fresh food initiatives.
Sure. What else is new this year for the running series?
Well, so Jacob's race is so much fun because we get to partner with Jacob to do our series prizing from the year before. So along with the 5K,
ceremony.
yes, we do our
award ceremony.
2023
And
awards.
oranges. There's always oranges.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have Sylvia's Catering there to be providing lunch, and we have 68 people to award and recognize this year, which is so exciting. And then Jacob already mentioned that his race specifically is part of the Michigan Runner Race Series this year, which is actually run through the Ann Arbor Running Company. And they reached out to us and asked if they could put one of our races in their series. So now we're going to be getting some more draw from the Ann Arbor area and the people that participate in that race series. So it's so much fun to be able to bring in and highlight Grow Jackson and the ORS race series with this kickoff and show people that may not be aware of who we are and what we do provide, that we have a whole battery of races here in the Jackson area. So I'm really excited to bring in outside entities and introduce them to the things that we can provide them.
Well, it's a great opportunity to showcase all the great services that ORS provides through a dozen or so clinics throughout the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also a year of growth for Grow Jackson. Pardon the pun.
That's kind of what it's there for, Bart. It's kind of there for the pun.
You've got, I know you're talking to the county about partnering in their new farmers market.
Yes, we'll have to see. That's it's a big interest of ours. where hopefully all the chips can fall where they may and align, because it'll be a big step for us, and it's something where we kind of need to figure out if that's the right strategic move, if it makes sense financially, because we want to stay true to our core of growing food, providing fresh food, and teaching. You know, we worked with 1,000 students in 2023
Wow.
through our relationships with Northwest, Jackson Public, Jackson Catholic, and Rise Above, and the city and the Y, and so many other partners throughout the summer as well. And so we want to stay true to that focus of education, fresh food education, and actually growing and providing the food. So if we can make sure it aligns strategically and it makes sense on our books, then I would like to see us take that step, but it's still in the works.
And there's a new race
Yes.
added to the schedule
Yes,
this year, and
another
that's
race.
a Grow Jackson race.
It's not going to be for Grow Jackson.
Oh.
So there's there's another nonprofit, Nuestra Comunidad, which hosts the Jackson Hispanic Heritage Festival. Yes. So in year 1, we hosted the festival. Year 2, we organized the nonprofit to host the festival, benefit students, and promote Hispanic businesses. And so this upcoming year in 2024, from Nuestra Comunidad and from the Hispanic celebration in Jackson, folks can look forward to the festival kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month in the middle of September, and then we're going to try to work with different companies and organizations to put different things that are aligned with Hispanic Heritage Month on the calendar for those 6 weeks, and then we'll round out the month celebration with Dia de los Muertos 5K.
All right, it'll probably be warm for that event, which will occur
It's in October.
October.
We'll see.
But for February, we're pretty much guaranteed winter weather, as we see from some of these past photos. That was a cold.
It was cold. The
Yeah.
first 2 years were quite cold. I don't know. We've had a pretty mild winter, knock on wood. So we'll have to see what happens.
I tried to look ahead at the Farmer's Almanac to see if I could get a weather forecast for February, but
Easton,
all I
zip
got
up
was
your
normal,
coat.
right, my kids. I'll tell you what.
Very
but
freezing.
it's honestly one of the draws to the race is that it's in February and it's cold, because who does that, right? Who
Right.
goes out and purposely runs in the freezing cold? The joke at the start finish line is that nobody PRs at this race.
Who knows? Maybe this year.
Maybe we
Someone
don't
could pop
know.
off.
We've got some pretty competitive
Yeah.
participants.
You have, I was shocked to hear this on the morning show the other day. You have a group of runners that have participated in every single race last year.
Yep, I believe now. I hope not to get it wrong, but I think there are 13 people that participated
Wow.
in all 11.
Wow.
All 11 races. Yep.
That's an accomplishment.
I might
It
run this
really
year.
is.
And Melissa should get also be included in that, because you participated in every
Absolutely.
single race too.
Absolutely, she should.
I just, it's so much fun. And one of the things that I may have been talking to Karen about was the stat that I would love to have, that it's really hard, it's challenging to try and gather, is how many families are participating in all of these races at this point. I think I was going through the lineups and the rosters, if you will, and I got to 9. And then you have blended families, and it's hard to figure out once you get past that if, who belongs to who in those types of situations. But to say that we have 9 families, and that's 1-year-olds, to brothers and sisters, to parents, to aunts and uncles and grandparents, that's really cool to see.
Well, 2 families, the Brigets and the Inocencios, for example, are those, I think,
Generational runners.
the first names that come to mind, because you're there. Now, this is also another year that JTV is sponsoring, or ORS is sponsoring the photo galleries on JTV.tv, which include all of the running series events, and then some, including, in fact, last year, I couldn't believe this, 984 galleries in 1 year.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
We
And
have over
105,000
4
photos.
million views, wasn't there? Over 4 million views?
millions.
Millions.
Yeah,
That is wild.
millions. So it's unbelievable. Our team takes so many, but we're at so many. And when people say, "Oh, there's nothing to do.
Nothing to do. There's 1,000 things to do in Jackson.
There were 1,000
Literally.
things to do.
We are so thankful for that partnership. Honestly, that's the first place people go after our races is to the JTV photo galleries, because that's what everybody wants to do, is they want to find the pictures of themselves. And the amount of times that I've seen pictures be reposted onto individual social media with, this is my favorite race picture, this is the best picture I've ever taken. There was one of our racers, one of our very loyal racers, that he's coming to the finish line and his son, it's the picture and it's just him running and his son is cheering him on and he's the only spectator right there. It's like, this is the essence of the race.
That's
this is
so
cool.
amazing. That's so cool.
Well, both Melissa and Jacob are big University of Michigan fans, and we can't let this
Absolutely.
time go without checking in with your game watching plans.
Yeah. I'll be in Ann Arbor. I'm very nervous. I've been very nervous all year.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long 2 decades of pain. So this would be great.
I was in Ann Arbor
No stress.
Saturday, and it's crazy. I mean, the whole town has the fever,
Oh,
as you would
absolutely.
expect.
Absolutely. I had a chance to go to the Rose Bowl, actually. I was in California over the last week and
Oh, wow.
got to attend the Rose Bowl, and it was amazing. It felt like a home game. I mean, Michigan travels so well.
Yes.
I was very excited about that. And then, of course, a tremendous outcome. So
Yeah, where are you going to be?
We're going to a friend's house.
Okay.
I don't know if they can
she's not as
contain
excited.
gas, though.
She's not as excited as I
Stop,
am. I don't know
stop,
why.
Well, people are so nervous. I mean, last week's game against Alabama was not fun. It
was very stressful to watch
Yeah.
until the final play.
Yeah.
That one was.
Grand River Brewery is having a big party tonight, and they're going to give away all kinds of cool Michigan bling, and there will be maize and blue themed menu items like yellow and blue corn tortilla chips. That sounds great. And a lot of fun things to do while the game is on the screens tonight at Grand River Brewery. There's a maize and blue drink.
Go Blue.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. We're at Dick's Sporting Goods Saturday night in Ann Arbor, and there was a big sign, our store will open at 7 a.m. Tuesday if Michigan wins.
They're ready to go.
Because they've got all that
They are
stuff
ready to go.
It's ready.
all printed.
I am trying not to be hopeful, but I'm obviously very hopeful. And things look good, and I think we're well matched, and I think our defense is ready, but no, I'm counting on nothing. Right now it's still too good to be true, you know?
Well, that's what I think we, as a state, that's what we want. Yeah,
Absolutely.
cool. All right, so people can sign up right now for
Yes.
the Groundhog.
Look up the Jackson Groundhog Gallop on sign up, and they can get registered until the 19th is the last day to guarantee a t-shirt. So if folks register between now and the 19th, it's the cheapest it's going to be. It guarantees them a shirt, and all proceeds, of course, support Grow Jackson. So we've already had a few folks donate to Grow Jackson and get to run for free. So we always appreciate those contributions as well.
Every race has its own flavor and special attractions and bling. You have merchandise and trophies and medals. Every race has a different set of all that. That's what's cool too.
Yeah.
This year we're going to really try and push the children participation, and ORS and M&K are going to be helping each of the race directors to elevate the kids portion. So with prizing, it kind of depends on the flavor of the race and what fits best there. But that's one of the things is, children are the future, right? And that is really where we want to push our participation this year. So big things coming for children. So if you've got kids that want to come for the race, just to check it out. And then for our end of series award winners, we're really excited with the things that we get to pass out. I was really hoping the medals were going to be here so I could bring them on TV today, especially because you had Zach on. Zach Snyder, the mural is going to be the background of our end of series medals.
Oh, cool.
So what a cool coincidence for the day.
Neat. It's awesome. And we've already seen your kids running in every race. Is Forrest going to get into the series?
So I think that if it is warm enough, I'm going to run this year, and I think I'm going to push Forrest. So I've got to get a couple of days. We can do a test in the jogger because he wasn't big enough for the jogger, and then it's been too cold. So if we can get a couple good days to test out the jogger. Training, yeah, exactly, for myself as well. And then I will. Then I might push him in this race. But I started running in these races in the Clark Lake race when I was 4.
Wow.
So I true testament to the value of running as a family, running early, and have been doing it for the last 2 decades.
Yeah, and you need to train because you were gassed in the Michigan Mile.
I was, yeah. that was different.
I can't say anything. I don't do them. I couldn't. It's amazing accomplishment of the
It's
runners
because I
and
ran
walkers.
3 of them. It's just
You did. You ran
yeah.
3
You
or 4
ran
in
more
a
than
row.
3, didn't you?
Yeah.
For the Mighty Mile.
3 or 4 of them.
Mighty
I think.
Mile.
The
Yeah,
Mighty
the
Mile
Mighty
in
Mile.
June is a free event run through the Michigan Running Foundation.
Yeah, we'll
to
do it
try
again
and
this year.
encourage. Yep.
But I was a little gassed. I was a little out of shape. It'd been a crazy couple months. I hadn't been to the
Right.
gym.
It was hot. Yeah.
It was hot.
It
Whatever.
was hot.
I didn't have enough popsicles. Just had a newborn. It's all good.
All right. We'll see you on February 3rd at Parkside.
We'll see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Melissa Brigette and Jacob Inocencio with the ORS Running Series and the Groundhog Gallop.